Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the 15th episode. Hi, Aleem, how are you doing? This music which you are playing now right in the beginning seems now become like a Friday morning alarm. Did you get it? It
Oh,
just keeps playing on my mind every day on Friday morning.
absolutely. Good
And
morning,
that's
everyone, and good morning, Ajit. And I completely agree with you. It's like every time these nice Netflix episodes, they have those signature tunes. We've also made our own signature tune like that. So that's
yes,
fine.
and that credit goes to you, Aleem. You did that, you made that happen. Too good,
Absolutely.
man.
Copy. I
Madman,
hope we don't
madman. It just works fine
उसका
for you.
copyright mail लिया है, तो I hope we don't get sued someday. So we are working on सस्ता and टिकाऊ budget for now.
Absolutely, guys. All right, for guys, good morning. And we are at the 15th episode. My name is Ajit Panikar. I'm an Ascent member for 10 years, and I lead Nova, an air conditioning company, and Pure Blue, a tech enabled startup in the air conditioning domain. And my co host, as usual, is Aleem. Aleem.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, and good morning again. And my name is Aleem. I lead a company called Synapse. And what I want to be is somebody as suave and sophisticated as Ajit, but I don't have that kind of introduction. But yeah, good to see you all over here today.
Thank you, buddy. But for all of you guys who are joining us for the first time, Ascent is a not for profit expression of Harsh Mariwala, Chairman Marico Limited, and his passion to identify high potential growth stage entrepreneurs and enable them to grow their enterprise and enrich their entrepreneurial journey. Launched in 2012, Ascent today empowers more than 850 entrepreneurs across India. Ascent is designed as a unique, powerful peer to peer platform that leverages the power of the collective through self facilitated groups called trust groups, which enables entrepreneurs to share and exchange experiences, ideas, insights, and create a healthy ecosystem to learn from each other. And today's event is a weekly event every Friday at 11 a.m. Ascent Talks showcases Ascent members and their interesting entrepreneurial journeys. So today, Aleem's going to introduce a very interesting guest from Amchi, Mumbai, and a
Absolutely.
fascinating story of how he gets started and what he's built. So, Aleem, let's bring in our guest.
Absolutely. We've done 14 shows. This is our 15th show, and there are a lot of interesting and inspirational stories that we've heard. But this one is some story that really is going to be very interesting. So introducing Prateek Kumar. Prateek dons many hats. He's an investor. He's the co-founder of Jharkhand Angels. He's a successful entrepreneur of Neo Niche Group, a professional CEO, prolific business writer, a motivational speaker. After spending more than 2 decades working with teams selling everything from fireworks to soaps to yellow pages and exhibition booths, Pratik chose to step out of his day job in 2011 to pursue his passion. And that's when he founded Neoniche, which has created a name for itself in the industry. Neoniche has won more than 25 awards in the prestigious Rising Star of India brand management company. He's also the most admired experiential marketing company and an emerging company of the year. So welcome, Pratik. Very, very good looking and very, very handsome and very glamorous
Thank
smile. So here we are.
thank you so much, Aleem, and thank you so much, Ajit, for having me on Ascent Talks.
He,
Bola.
he, he kind of admired your beauty. What's wrong with you, Aleem? Give him a break, यार.
इतना
हद
good
होती
looking
है
है,
यार. ये कोई
शक्ल देख,
कोई
तेरी
तरीका
शक्ल
होता
देख.
है यार इंट्रोड्यूस करवाने का. ब्यूटी एडमायर कर रहा है.
But I loved it. Aleem, thank you so much.
Go for
You
it.
are the
Go
only
for
one
it.
who
It's
has
a
ever
free
admired.
world.
I swing only
Oh,
one way. Just want to let everybody know that.
I'm glad. I'm glad you made it clear.
Pratik, now let's get into the show and tell us about your business. Tell us about the nature of the business. Tell us about the scale. What is interesting about your business? What are the clients? What is the USP? Just give us a nice intro about what you do.
Okay, so I'm a co-founder of a company called Jharkhand Angels, which supports the startups coming out of smaller towns and cities. It was in fact features in Shark Tank first episode. I'm also a founder of uh, Neonish Group, which was founded in 2011. Uh, we work as a omni-channel partner to B2B enterprise and their different stakeholders, and kind of build their entire marketing, communication, marketing build experiences around their stakeholders. Uh, that's what Neonish is all about. As a part of Neonish, I'm a part of Asset.
Nice.
That's amazing, Pratik. But Pratik, tell me something. Your business is, let's be honest about it, with the digital space and marketing. sometimes you feel it just tends to get a little overcrowded. Is there space for so many people? What are the kind of disruptions that you see around this whole space when it comes to your industry in terms of marketing and digital solutions?
So human being, great example is a human being, right? We have evolved through the ages. And businesses mimic human beings, right? We evolve through the times. We are not using pager anymore. We are not using even those monochromatic phones anymore. We are using smartphones, and then now we are talking about AIs and VRs and ARs of the world, right? We are talking about GPTs of the world. Similarly, my business started as a corporate event company. We were doing was creating experiences for our B2B corporate clients. And as a Sunday or a weekend project, we started something which was called as Hive at that point of time. It was like a virtual event platform. We tried selling it for so many years. No one was even buying it. Uh, or we had only one buyer for almost 10 years who bought that service for princely sum of around 60,000 rupees for their resellers. That was the success of Hype. And then in 2020, pandemic came. Everything became virtual. And suddenly the one product, which was like a weekend test failed product, suddenly became the hit. Over the last 2 years, I think we sold it so much. Eventually, the virtual platforms are dying its own death. But at some point of time, you are doing something and you don't know when the time is ready, right? Sometimes you are before time and you think the product has failed, but product becomes the more relevant one. At the same time, in digital space, what is happening is there are spaces which are crowded in B2C market. So if you talk about digital agencies, they will say, I will manage your SEO, I will manage your SEM, I will make apps for you, I will make dynamic websites for you. Uh, but actually, digital space is still evolving. It's still a lot more, and nobody actually is trying to do any solutions for B2B market for digital space. Uh, last couple of years, when we have reached out to clients for digital marketing, they were not that interested. But today, if you look at the B2B space, they are all about community building. They are all about managing loyalty online. So B2B loyalty programs. It's all about employer branding. It's still evolving, and it will go a lot more. It will evolve a lot more. We are still at the nascent stage.
I
Just
was
a
at a
quick
conference
question.
in my back, and yeah,
Sorry.
sorry, go on. Ajit.
No. Before he bought about something called as Chat GPT, and I'm sure most of our viewers would have heard it. And I wanted to pick up from what he just said on that Chat GPT. Is that going to disrupt your business? I'm going to be very blunt about it. Or if it is not, which part of it is it going to disrupt? And if it is not going to disrupt at all, then what is it going to do to your business? Because that's what everyone is talking about. They think ChatGPT is going to even disrupt Google. So, what's your take on that? Yeah?
So there are two different mindset, right, Ajit? There is a mindset which says glass is half full, and there is a mindset which says glass is half empty. I come from a space that glass is half full, which means that every technological innovation has only added value to your duty. ChatGPT is a great tool if you utilize it. ChatGPT is not going to address your customers' grievances. ChatGPT is not going to interact with your customer in the last mile. But what Chat GPT will do is it will create contents for you. It will create content for a chat shows like this, in terms of when you want to take it to thousands of masses, right? That's how I see Chat GPT evolving.
Awesome. Aleem, we are a chat show. The
Yeah,
first
we are.
validation. We are a chat show, भैया. We are a chat show.
तो हम तो गए भाई हमारा वीकेंड प्रोजेक्ट भी गया
नहीं जाएगा नहीं आपका आप अगर आज if you are reaching out to a lakh people today, you would be reaching out to an entire globe tomorrow.
I agree.
Oh
There's this very nice reel that was floating around by this influencer called Ayo Sharda. I'm sure you must have seen it. And she said that at the end of the day, it's going to be Chat GPT and creativity. These two are going to come together and this thing. So it's not as much as threat. I think it's a knee-jerk reaction if people say it's going to take away my job. It's just going to enhance your job in many ways, I believe. Pratik, before we go to the next question, I want to ask you actually. I want to ask you a backstory. I know that you have a very, very interesting backstory. So tell us from how this entire thing evolved. How did you become an entrepreneur? What was your story behind that?
Okay, so I come from Ranchi, and when I left Ranchi in year 1998 to do my hotel management in Mumbai at IHM, the typical mindset in UP, Bihar, Jharkhand is you do After 10th, you take up science, you become a doctor, you become an engineer, you become an IS officer. That's a typical mindset. Nobody talks about business, nobody talks about entrepreneurship, nobody talks about anything beyond these 3 lines of thought. So I followed that beaten track. I appeared for medical exam. I got selected in All India pre-medical exam. Uh, I also appeared for hotel management without telling my parents, and I got selected in here as well. And I said, I don't want to do medicals because there is too much of studying that goes on there. And I actually fought with my dad. After a lot of convincing, on the last day, he admitted me to hotel management course. And but hotel management, I realized that there are 3 important ingredients when you are doing a course like that. You need to have a personality. Thank you, Aleem, for talking about my beauty at great length. But I knew my personality. I was this lanky young boy who not great communication coming from the hinterlands of India. Uh, no personality, no contact. So, but what I liked was the day I entered hotel management, I got a lot of opportunity of doing this college fest, your Rose Days, your Valentine's Day. उससे खून लग गया. Then I kept on doing those kind of work. I kept on doing, and once I passed out, I joined Taj Group for a very short stint as a management trainee, and then moved out. And I actually started working with smaller agencies, startup agency, where I got a chance to work as a intrapreneur. So किसी और के पैसे से उसकी कंपनी को ग्रो किया, पहले समझा धंधे को, और जब किसी और के पैसे से ग्रो करते हैं और आप बहुत कुछ आपका बैकग्राउंड नहीं है ना, तो यू हैव नो मनीज. So my first salary was a princely sum of 4,500 rupees, which means that in Mumbai, Mumbai is an expensive city, so I had to stay in Dharavi. And Dharavi was my MBA. The violence of Dharavi taught me a lot about everything.
This is the actual picture of where you started from, right?
Yeah. The pink house on the first floor, and that window, that used to be my house.
Amazing.
So but it was fun time. It was fun time. The best ideas came at that time. Best thought process came at that time. And in 2011, I actually got together with my partners and formed New Niche as a corporate event company of that time. And eventually,
so Prateek, just a second, Prateek. Sorry to interrupt. So we have a lot of viewers outside Mumbai. To people who are outside Mumbai and who know what this image means, people from Mumbai will realize Dharavi is the biggest slum in the country today, probably in the whole of Asia, as they keep saying it. It's the biggest slum, and that's what Prateek is referring to as to where he started from. All right, so go ahead, Prateek.
Okay, so this photograph is, I think, of my first office in the basement. So first office we actually had in a place called Bepar Bhavan in P. Demel Road at the basement, because that was coming the cheapest. We had just one room where we would stack everything and start functioning. For 6 months, we didn't had any business. Our first business we got was in, I think, after 6 months for a princely sum of 55,000 rupees, where we made a profit of 5,000 rupees. In fact, my office history wall has that entire invoice and the check. So that's how we started the business. And trust me, I did every mistake on the playbook that you can do. We didn't had a shareholders agreement. We didn't even crafted what the business was all about. We kind of jumped off the cliff and tried making something out of it.
So that's the history wall he's talking about in his office. So you actually kept this as memory. So every day when you walk in, you know where you began from, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So you can see the first office puja at the basement. You can see my early partners in there. Our first article that was published about us, that was the first event. It was a party at the pub in Bandra for a movie promotion called I Am, which was the first movie on LGBTQ community.
Nice.
This was our first offsite, I think, way back. First ever offsite, first bunch of people who worked with us. You can see how scowny I look in the front on the hoodies, Aleem.
We have to actually find you.
on the checkered hoodie up front.
Got that.
In fact, you would also see Valay, who is my partner, who is also part of Ascent Trust Group, another trust group.
Nice.
This was the session that we used to do called Popcorn with Prateek. This was the early sessions or early town hall that you can see, only handful of people. So I could actually engage with everyone at that point of time on a person-to-person basis. Now we have more than 150, 160 people. So across 3 different regions. So now the processes have taken precedence.
Very nice.
And a nice fancy looking office too.
Yes.
That's the lobby.
That's nice. Amazing, yeah.
We were lucky. We are lucky to be at the right
I
place
mean,
at the right
I
time.
said, yeah, I guess what you said is right. Destiny tends to play a role, but it's just not luck, right? It's just also a plan that you put through, you keep chasing it. And of course, at the end of the day, an element of destiny and luck always plays in. That's amazing, yeah. Too good.
So one of my earlier manager always used to say, Ajit, that there is a process of putting an elephant inside a refrigerator. And process is paramount to making your ideas into reality. So I'm one person who is strictly for process.
Very nice.
Amazing. Too good.
But what kind of significant changes have you brought in this business and this domain that you all have, got into? And it's a very challenging business. Every day is a new day. Every day is a new project. What kind of changes have you brought about? What kind of revolutions does your business? Why do clients choose to work with you?
Okay. So when we started off, we decided that our mode would be to not only to create experiences. So how do we define our businesses? That we are in a business of creating remarkable experience. And remarkable experience needs to be made in front of the right people. So our first offering was that we would not only create the experience, but we will also get you the right kind of people who would purchase your services. Then later on, we kept on hearing one word. Okay, and I think every entrepreneur goes through it. यार तुम्हारा product तो अच्छा है लेकिन महंगा है. And then from there on, we kind of shifted. Since we were in a business of experiences, events, omni-channel marketing at that point in time, we said, what is your budget? We would always ask that question, what is your budget? A lot of clients would not give us the budget, but the moment we will give our estimate, they would say, you are expensive. So then we would ask the question, how much expensive we are? And they would say by 30%, 40%, whatever. And then we went back to them and we said, what if we get sponsors for your event or sponsors for your campaign, who will pay half your monies? And everybody is happy because you are going a lot more larger. The price is a lot more higher, but you are only paying 50% of it. So we started doing third-party sponsorship, which nobody was doing at that point of time. I think nobody even still now does that anymore. Then we moved into managing the loyalties in a B2B segment, entire gamification, bringing in gamification in the loyalty programs at early days. In fact, way back in 2011, we did our first webinar, and India didn't have the connectivity. It was before the times of Geo and broadband connectivity and smartphones. So we did it at that point of time for cool around 1,000 people. We also did India's largest silent theater conference way back in 2012 at Nesco for close to around 10,000 people who were actually listening to a silent theater conference on their radio frequency headsets. Very recently, we have done India's world's largest hackathon for Ethereum.
Wow.
Very cool, yeah? Very cool.
But Prateek, your industry is primarily omni-channel marketing, right? And I know one big challenge that we spoke about, and I think that should be brought up. Pre-COVID, your 105 crore company, all right, which was very large and everything, overnight dropped to a 15 crore, 16 crore company. And I can imagine the nightmare. Okay, for any of us who are in business, when something just happens overnight like that, people, cash flows, customers, everything goes wrong. Tell us, man, how did you handle that?
So 2-3 things happened. Providence, right? 2-3 things happened. Ascent happened, and Ascent is one thing that I would credit a lot of my success and my organization's success to. There is this beauty that you are put into a trust group, right? And those people become your support system, your sounding board, your extended board of directors, your go-to people in a lot of places. So while my organization was dipping down, I had a huge support over there. And not only me, but my co-founders who are also part of different trust group in Ascent, right? So there were few things that we said we will be doing. We said this is the time when we need to look at our values, because these are the times when your values walk the corridors of the office. Those are not the smart statement that you put on a plaque and put on the lobby for people to see. And our values were hard, which was honesty, excellence, accountability, respect, and trust. And we said we will be very honest to our people. We will go back and tell them, that, hey, this is the situation. A company which was growing 47% year on year, we were a kind of industry outlier, suddenly seeing a downturn. So we will be running on a losses till the time this COVID is there, and we need to evolve. So we worked at first 25% salaries, 50% salaries. But every time we would directly go to people, face our people, tell them the truth, tell them if something goes right, what we will be doing next, and how we will be bringing back the salaries, how we will be bringing back the process. And our focus was digital at that point of time. So the if you look at the dark cloud, then yes, we were incurring immense losses, 7 crore loss in first year, 5 crore loss in second year. But the silver lining was my digital business, which was only 5% of my balance sheet, suddenly became 60-70% of my balance sheet. And that gave us an opportunity to evolve into an omni-channel market here, where we were offering B2B digital, B2B PR, loyalty programs. So, and it also made another important discovery that we had by Providence was suddenly the world became a global village. In my earlier opportunities, at the most, I was working at an APAC level. At the most, I would go to a EMEA level and work in Dubai, work in Australia. But now it was a time, because our services were cheaper, I could actually go and sell to anybody in US, in Canada, in Latin America. And we actually started working with more global clients. So our number of clients, or the number of logos that we were working with, us actually increased in those 2 years.
And since you bought about the Ascent, tell us about your Ascent journey. I mean, we'd love to know more.
Okay, so Ascent journey started in 2012, I think 26th of January, Republic Day. We were put into early days of Ascent. We were put into this place called the club. Harsh Bhai spoke to all of us, spoke about his expression, what he needs to do, his personal social responsibility of growth-ready entrepreneurs, and bringing and we were put into a table where I had close to around 10, 12 people, and said, you guys are the trust group. And we called our trust group Inspire. And even though from the early days, how our trust group was formed at that point of time, only 3 members are left. A lot of people take hiatus, moved out, business changed. But the new members who came actually bring in those ethos, right? And so I have learned so much from my trust group members first, in terms of how they have evolved the business. For example, even in those 2 years of COVID, there is somebody who's providing services to the medical companies of making polymers. There is somebody who's making masks and sanitizers, and this business was growing. So in my gloomy days, those were the people that would give me inspirations. At the same time, Ascent has provided so much of tools, so much of this thing. Ascent Conclave, for that matter, right? I have nowhere seen close to around 700, 800 entrepreneurs sitting in a room, networking, taking in a content which is not available. Where all you have heard all the sharks sitting together and discussing stuff, where you have heard the fireside chat happening, where have you heard somebody like Mr. Naveen Jindal or Mr. Bajaj talking? The fabulous exercises and tools like Lifeline exercise has been absolutely mind-boggling.
Yeah, he went on, he became an Ascent member, experienced all these things, went back and changed this company's constitution. Okay, if you're a founder of this company, you have to be a member of Ascent. As simple, only Ascent members. So how did you actually convince all your other founders? You guys are 4 of them and all of them are members of Ascent, right?
So if you ask somebody to do and you dictate terms, nobody will do it, right? And for all that matter, they are my co-founders who founded the company along with me. But they started seeing the change in me. Biggest change that they saw in me was the biggest success of any entrepreneur is how he or she takes feedback, right? If you are able to take the feedback and you don't become your defensive lawyer, right? The moment somebody tells you start becoming defensive, you become a lawyer. At the same time, you are a best judge for other people. So one of the first things that I learned from my Ascent journey was how to take feedback. And when they saw this kind of changes and other changes possibly happening inside, they kept on asking me, what is this Ascent? What is this Ascent all about? And then I had my own definition of Ascent. I think all of us have very different definition of Ascent, and that's the beauty of Ascent, right? So then they applied at different times, and they got selected at different times to different trust groups. And I am pretty much sure they will be having equally fabulous journey with their trust group. But we don't discuss what happens inside the trust group, right? But at the same time, we have matured as a board within the organization.
Great, great, fabulous. And Prateek, take time out and tell us about your family. Tell us about about your personal life, your hobbies, and things like that.
Okay, so I am a half Rajput. My dad is a Rajput whose roots come from Jaipur, but he was born and brought up in Bihar. My mom's roots come from Bangladesh. Actually, she is a Bengali. Uh, Her family migrated at the time of partition to Calcutta. Uh, so I'm half Bengali, half Rajput, married to a Gujarati. My wife is born and brought up in Mumbai. Uh, and I have two brothers. One is based out of my hometown. One is based out of Bangalore. Both of them are entrepreneurs today. Uh, and I have twin sons, 9 years, Adi and Arya. So they keep my inner child alive. I used to have two doggy daughters, Angel and Mischief. Angel, in fact, I lost exactly as on date last year.
Oh,
So
sorry.
today is the date when I lost her last year.
I know that pain.
Yeah.
I am a voracious reader. If I don't have anything to read, I will pick up an old newspaper and start reading. I read 4 books at a time. And I love to work for stray animals. That is what helps me in terms of that is the most fulfilling part of my life. Apart from that, I am a yoga practitioner, so I practice yoga and meditation.
Amazing. Too good, man. That's a fantastic story. So Pratik, when the book of the story of the Rajput who started his life from Dharavi comes out, reach out to Aleem. He's damn good at giving names for these autobiographies. Okay, he's done. He does a good job out of it. So reach out to him. He's also given Harsh's book's name. So reach out to him. That man comes up with great names for the books.
Now I charge.
Aleem is the first. Aleem is the first person who has seen the beauty in me. I know common people say, by the way.
Dude, पैसा नहीं मिलेगा, guaranteed नहीं
गया
मिलेगा.
अभी मैं.
Aleem, you are my go-to man.
Absolutely, anytime. For the entire Ascent community, I am the go-to man for anything they want to name now.
But
I,
amazing.
I'm writing a book called Stud, Small Town Urban Dreamer.
Nice. See.
Nice.
Uh, that's about journey of people like me who comes from a very unorthodox
Very cool.
setting.
So cool.
And
So cool. I love it.
the idea
That's
is that
amazing.
it may inspire people from tier 2, tier 3 cities to kind of take the journey.
Absolutely.
Too
That's
good,
where
Pratik.
this is coming from. Yes.
Amazing. So, Pratik, we are just about a minute away from our 30-minute timeline, but it's been fascinating to hear you. It's very interesting. The last 30 minutes has been super listening to you, your story. Thank you so much for taking time out for being with us today.
Thank you so much, Aleem. Thank you so much, Ajit.
See you
Thank
soon.
you so
buddy.
much. Yeah. Awesome, guys. So that was the 15th episode. So now, if you are an entrepreneur who love these stories, share these stories, subscribe to the channels that you watch us on. We are available on podcasts. You'll find us on every podcast, on YouTube, on LinkedIn, on FB, on Insta. You'll always find us. Subscribe to that. But if you want to be part of our cohort, get to ascentfoundation.in, make an application. The Ascent team will get in touch with you. They will evaluate your business. They will make sure you stand up to all the requirements that Ascent wants. Please remember, this is a not-for-profit, and it's not like a membership fee that you pay and you can buy that membership. But if you go through that whole journey of getting shortlisted, we'll be happy to have you as a member. So thank you very much for joining us today, and we will see you next Friday at 11 a.m. with another interesting story. But before that, just for members from Mumbai, please remember there's a very interesting event that is a members event which is coming up on 16th Feb at 6 p.m. at Geo Convention. So if you have heard about crypto and is wondering what the hell is digital rupee, come over to listen to Samir Shetty. He's going to talk about it. And what COVID does. You know what the impact of China is. There's another speaker, Mr. Manoj Keval Ramani. You should join us on the 16th Feb at 6 p.m. at Geo Convention. It's a members-driven program. Come over. You will enjoy this great net platform for knowledge and networking. So thank you very much. Thanks, Aleem. And we're going to
Thank
meet
you.
you guys back again next week, Friday at 11 a.m. with another interesting story. Thanks a lot, guys. Bye.
Absolutely.
Have a
Thank you.
wonderful
You
weekend.
take care. Bye bye.
Bye bye. See you. Bye bye.